I'm not totally sure what it is about week 2 of Wastelanders, but a ton of bugs and glitches just seem to be coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden. As in this video, what I'm going to be talking about and showing some potential footage of is what may be a new glitch or exploit allowing some users to effectively steal items from your stash. Now, it isn't actually stealing, technically they're buying those items via a vending machine, but they're buying rare items at such low prices that it may as well be stealing. But before you get all mad and your pitchforks out at the people abusing this supposed exploit, they may not even realize they're abusing anything at all, and in fact, the blame could be more so on you in a way. In this video, we're going to go over all of the details right now, some of the theories as to what this could be, and also why this is different than things in the past like the inventory steal hack. I encourage you guys to watch at least most of this video because this is a weird one. It's definitely different than the bugs, glitches, or exploits we've had in the past. The original reports, or at least the ones that got pretty popular, of a way for users to buy items from your stash via a vending machine started to pop up around 10 days ago. It was mainly centered around this post, which got fairly popular and spread around quite a bit. Now, if you guys do watch my videos, you may have noticed I talked about this in the past, specifically citing how I hadn't heard of a way for this to actually be done. And even though after this was posted, several other posts popped up also, none of them were providing any proof. What changed and what made me a bit more of a believer in this is now there is some proof as well as additional reports from more trustworthy sources. I'll have links to most of these posts down below, but large in part what is described in them is people are naturally adventuring around in Fallout 76 and start to notice in the top left corner of their screen, people are buying things from their vending machine. It'll just naturally report to you when people are buying things and you'll see caps get added to your account. But the exception is they'll notice that people are buying things that they never set for sale. And even further, many of those sale prices are very low. Items that should be worth tens of thousands of caps being sold for 1, 2, or under 100. And then as they return to their camp, they may find some of the items that were originally in their vending machine gone, replaced with other stash items. And even further, one of the questionable parts of this is you could also find weird things throughout your camp. Power armor on your magazine rack, which shouldn't be possible, and strange things located in your display cases. So again, at the time when those reports were coming in, there was really no way to verify them. Although something that is important to note, a couple of days after this became fairly popularized, display cases as well as vending machines were disabled in Fallout 76. But that was totally unrelated. There used to be a dupe using vending machines and display cases, and Bethesda disabled them, patched it out, and then re-enabled them. It had nothing to do with the supposed stash steal exploit. And since they've been re-enabled a few days ago, we now have some video evidence or supposed video evidence of this in action, something we just didn't have before. In this first video, what we could see is somebody playing Fallout 76 and noticing, hey, somebody's buying things from me. Two particularly rare items, a legendary handmade rifle, as well as the Toothy Man Fosnot mask. The handmade rifle selling for 45 caps, the Toothy Man mask for 1 cap, and important to note, these are two different buyers. Two people are buying things from this vending machine in quick succession, but then you see that user try and log off very quickly because they heard about this being a problem, and logging off will remove your camp and in turn stop people buying stuff. But then there's a second video of not the original person, but rather one of their friends who happened to be on their team and playing on their server. This person goes up to the user's vending machines and finds that some suspicious things are listed for sale. Firstly, you can see some Atomic Shop items in the vending machine. This shouldn't be allowed. With Atomic Shop items, all you could do is wear them, store them, or delete them. You can't trade them or drop them for others to use. But even further, what is a little bit more suspicious, you could find 29 two-shot black powder rifles, which this user successfully buys. He tries to buy the Atomic Shop item, but that is unpurchasable, seemingly Bethesda's protections working. And although he tries to buy multiple of the black powder rifle, in reality he's only ever able to buy one, and then they are all gone from the vending machine. Although he does successfully get one, and this user reports only having had one. And I think what this might be is actually a totally unrelated glitch. There is this weird thing going on where sometimes weapons will visually show up as being a stack of multiple, but in reality it's just one. It's a visual error making it seem like there's a bunch of them, but there really is only one. Some people are accusing this person of duping, and maybe, but it's probably just that visual glitch that has been going around. So now when it comes to these two videos, they definitely could be faked. A lot of people suspect it. Both of them are heavily disliked, and I'll have links to them down below so you can watch them for yourself. The first one in particular, very easy to fake. Just list those items for sale in your camp and have somebody buy them. The second one, a little bit harder to fake, unless they have some kind of mod or visual edit making it so that Atomic Shop icon pops up with those items. technically, again, you shouldn't be able to list Atomic Shop items, so something is going on there. You couldn't just normally do that. And even further, that weird visual glitch when it comes to the black powder rifle. Be a pretty big coincidence to happen to get that glitch or have that oddity show up while you're filming this faked video. And just overall, taking this all together, I would say these videos are legit and are proof that there is something weird going on in Fallout 76 where people via a vending machine can buy things from your stash. But there still is a couple of oddities. Circling back around to that first video, you could find somebody named G Rush purchase a quad hardened handmade for 45 caps. In the comments of that video, somebody named Greg Rushmeyer basically claims to be that person, saying that he actually just went up to a vending machine, saw a handmade legendary listed for 50 caps and bought it. He writes 50, but I assume he just means 45, and I actually believe him. I think what might be happening with this glitch, assuming again it is real based on these videos, is it's not actually a malicious thing people are doing. Thus far in the Fallout 76 hacking scene, there have been many people trying to recreate this, hearing of the original post and wanting to abuse an exploit like that. And yet thus far, I haven't seen a single group actually successful. And even on the other side of things, people who will reverse engineer them to report them to Bethesda, nobody has been able to recreate this. It doesn't seem like this is a hack because it's being done on consoles. The video is on PS4, and there's been a lot of other reports of it occurring on consoles as well as PC. So either there's a very small group of individuals who know how to do this and are doing it on all three systems, or what's probably a lot more likely, this is an accidental thing. It's not a hack or an exploit people are doing on purpose, it's a glitch or issue with Fallout 76, or even with what users are doing in Fallout 76 on the selling end. One of the big theories as to what's happening here is people are listing items for sale in their shops, but it's actually listing the incorrect item. So let's say I want to sell my handmade rifle on my store. I go through the steps of listing it, but instead of the handmade rifle being listed, it's actually listing something else from my stash. There has been a glitch in Fallout 76 where you could go to list an item, but if you actually look after going through the steps, the item isn't for sale. It doesn't have the for sale icon. So one of the theories right now is that might be connected. Maybe that item wasn't listed, but something totally separate was. Kind of a visual glitch where it doesn't show you the correct information as you're listing something for sale. But one of the other justifications for this is the prices of the things being sold, as they don't really make sense. If we go back to the things in this video, the Toothy Man mask as well as a legendary handmade. The Toothy Man mask sells for 1 cap, which I don't know where that number comes from. If you try and sell the Toothy Man mask to a vendor, it'll be worth 2 caps, even with no perk cards. If you try and list it at a vending machine, it'll be worth 10 caps because that's what it's worth by default. And the same applies to the handmade rifle. You get totally different values compared to what we're seeing in some of this gameplay. But you know what many people do sell for 1 cap each? Ammo. So one of the theories is, what if people are selling ammo, but instead of listing that ammo, it's a glitch where another item is getting listed for 1 cap. Then a random user strolls up to your vending machine, sees, hey, this is an incredible deal on a rare item, and just buys it. And that wouldn't even be totally new to Fallout 76. There have been different visual glitches in the past where, when trying to scrap certain items, it would actually scrap something different. This was something that was seemingly patched out by Bethesda at some point, but basically you would go to scrap something, and instead of scrapping the right thing, it would scrap something else that you had in your inventory. Typically one above or one below whatever you were intending to scrap. And as it stands, that is not confirmed. It's just a theory as to what could be happening here. One of the issues with that theory is it doesn't really explain why all the things in the magazine stands and display cases are also getting messed up. This theory could apply if people were assigning things to the magazine stand, but that doesn't really seem to be the case. So perhaps it is just a larger glitch with its shuffling all the items on your store for items in your stash, but also carrying over to other display cases. All of these display cases get that little icon on the side of them using a similar system. And I can see one of the other major critiques of this theory being that many of the reports are of rare items being stolen. So if it's just somewhat random as to which items get listed, why is it so often we hear rare items that are lost? Which would suggest it's more directed, people intentionally picking those. And I would say that's actually quite simple, more so just a selection bias. People are noticing when their rare items are stolen, and even further, when you lose a rare item, you're going to complain about it. If you just lost some random armor piece or a hat you didn't really care about, you probably wouldn't post online. You probably wouldn't seek out some of the threads reporting on this glitch. So thus far, we don't really know, but if nothing else, it definitely seems like this might be legit. Let's be clear, it doesn't seem like this is a hack or a deliberate exploit by users. I haven't spoken to many people at this point in time. I don't know of a single person who has found a way to actually force this, to go on a server and deliberately take items from somebody's stash using their vending machine. It seems like it either needs a very specific server condition that people haven't figured out how to get yet, or perhaps it's, again, some kind of user glitch where the person selling the items is actually creating this problem. Not to say it's their fault, but again, it's a glitch with how items are being listed. And in general, this seems pretty rare. I know a lot of people watch this video and immediately take down their vendors, and frankly, I don't blame you. Even if there's a relatively low risk of it affecting you, there still is a risk, and you could lose some seriously valuable stuff. But with this video, hopefully it cleared up this situation as to what exactly is happening. I know there's a lot of people pretty mad about this and some of the other bugs coming to Fallout 76 and Bethesda's lack of fixes thus far, but I wouldn't be shocked, at least as it pertains to this one, as if Bethesda just doesn't really know what's happening yet. This glitch or exploit, assuming it's real, is bizarre and weird. If it is something people are deliberately abusing, it's odd that nobody else has figured out how to do it. And if it's not, it's weird in that it is such a harmful exploit that is just due to the servers. It makes it seem like people are abusing it because they're buying items from you, but it might not even be the case. Those might just be innocent people who are just buying things naturally. Either way, hopefully we find out more soon. I know Bethesda is aware of some of these theories and will probably be testing them, so hopefully we hear something. But until then, as always, again, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and definitely found it informative. But with that, I hope to see you all next time. Later.